I'm still using the microphone. Yes, I'm in the same makeup. I told you Wednesday is my filming day. Hey guys! So, this video I have wanted to make since the day I arrived here in Sweden because I feel like it could help a lot of you. If you're new to my channel, hi, I have crippling anxiety. I think everybody on the fucking planet knows it. It's like I introduce myself as, hi, my name's Ash, I have anxiety. Please be nice to me. But yeah, as you know, I have really bad anxiety. Although I'm getting better and my anxiety is not clearing, well, kind of clearing up. I hope it's clearing up. It's getting a little bit better. So there were so many things that I did on the way to and from Sweden and to and from England that I never thought I would because my anxiety, and I did them multiple times, apparently. Me, personally, I really don't like public transport. Sometimes I can't even get in the car, and that's like, that was a time in my life when I was like really bad because I couldn't even get in my car. I can now get in my car, and I've never liked trains, really, or buses, or planes, or anything. Like, I remember thinking, if I ever have to get on a plane, I will literally, like, jump out of the window. Like, no thank you, I will not do that. I had to go on a plane to get here 3 times. 3 times. If you didn't know, I'll just briefly run down my trip so far. The first trip, I went from Birmingham, or around Birmingham, to London, which from my house to London is like 3 hours. That was in the car, and then we had to get on a plane for an hour. And then when I got to Sweden, I didn't get to Sweden, I went to Copenhagen, and then when we got to Copenhagen, I had to get on a train to go into Sweden, and so on. And then going back to England, I had to get on the plane, get on 3 trains, well, it was 5 trains the first time, and the underground. And the underground is something I always told myself, no, like brain, no. Never, ever, ever get on the underground, ever. No, don't do that. But I did it twice, and I am very proud of myself. So I figured I could share with you guys some of the things that got me through traveling with crippling anxiety. Ugh. I will tell you now, the main thing that helped me do this the most is my counsellor, or my therapist, or whatever. Seriously recommend therapy, counselling, anything. It may take some time to find the right person, but I have definitely found the right counsellor for me. She's absolutely amazing. She really helped me, and I think without her, I would not have been able to do it. That is my first recommendation, just if you're struggling in general. It's so good to have a counsellor and a therapist that you can rely on and that you can trust. And see, even now when I'm over here and I'm having a bad day, I can email her. So seriously, it's a really good idea. So I've divided this video up into 3 sections: packing, coping, and location. For location, I just couldn't think of a better way to say when you're there, basically. Section 1 is packing. Let me get my notes because I forgot what I wrote down for packing. I would definitely recommend packing things that bring you comfort, or things that you know make you feel good. So like for me, it's my journal. I can't go anywhere without my journal because otherwise I feel a little bit like, I don't know why. I don't always get my journal out everywhere, but my journal brings me a lot of comfort, so I brought that with me. So definitely bring something that will bring you comfort, even if it's a pillow, a cardigan, a pair of headphones, anything that you know brings you comfort in anxious situations. Pack distractions in your hand luggage. Pack things that will distract you. This for the second section, but bring your books, laptops, just something that will be a good distraction, but I will talk more about that later. When you're packing your actual suitcase, list out the items that you want to pack and the items that you want to take, because if you don't, it's a lot more stressful. It just makes everything so much easier. I feel like that's just a basic thing, but if you have anxiety, sometimes it can be a lot more stressful if you don't know what you're packing. Don't pack the night before. Again, this is a normal thing, but with anxiety, it just gets 10 times bigger because it's like you're packing the night before and everything's a lot more stressful, and it may bring your anxiety levels up, which won't be good when you're traveling. So don't pack the night before. Make sure you've listed and packed a few days before. Now onto coping while you're traveling. This is the main thing. Getting on public transport with anxiety can be very scary. Although for some people, public transport isn't a problem, but for some people it is. So my number one thing, which everyone will tell you, but trust me, it works. Distract yourself. Don't let yourself think about the scary stuff. And I know it sounds really easy, and I know that it's actually really difficult, but if you just lose yourself in something else, you will eventually like be on the plane and have 5 minutes until you land, and you'll be like, oh shit, wait, what? Read a book, write something, do something that you're interested in so that you can divert your entire attention to it. So like if you like writing, write something. Something that really helps me actually is writing everything that's in my head. So like if I'm stressed or like I'm really, really anxious, like when I first get on the plane, I will get out my notes on my phone and just write. Like it doesn't have to make sense. I will just be like, you're gonna be okay, or like I'm really, really stressed, I'm really scared, what if this happens, and just write everything out. And then write something that you would like to hear. So like what I do is I write all the things I'm worrying about. What if we crash? What if this happens? What if I throw up? Blah, blah, blah. And then I write a response to that from like the rational side of my brain that says, you'll be there in like an hour, everything will be fine, you've flown before, and just like convince yourself. It's like having a conversation with yourself, and it really, really works for me. You should see the amount of notes that I have on my phone with just this, like talking to myself. It really works and it really helps me. And then you're feeling okay, and then like 10 minutes later you're feeling stressed again. Read it and like just read it back or write a new one. That's exactly what I do. One thing that also helps me is thinking about time, which you have to be careful with because it can make you a little bit existential. But if you think about all of the stressful things you've been through in your life, up to this moment, you have survived every single one of them. Think about that time when you were about to get on a really crowded train, maybe, and you were stressed as hell, but you got on the train and you got where you needed to go and it was over. That's something that I do. I think about how quickly stressful situations are over for me. So when I was traveling here, I was like, wow, remember when I was super stressed about my GCSEs? Now they've been over for like a month, 2 months. So thinking about time and how fast it goes just blows my mind. So much to the point that I forgot that I was anxious. I distinctly remember panicking my little butt off for the first flight here, the first week I was coming here. And now I've been here for so long that it feels like I never got on that plane, you know? And if none of those things work, I have 3 techniques that I use all the time that have helped me through so many anxious situations that my counsellor gave to me. So I'm going to give them to you. The first one is called colour breathing, and you might have heard of this, but basically it's just deep breaths. However, it's some visualization at the same time. So what you do is you take a deep breath in and deep breath out, but while you take a deep breath in, you think of like a stressful colour or a colour you associate with your anxiety and your stress. So for me, it's the colour red, because that's an obviously angry, stressful colour. So like you close your eyes and you imagine the colour red, and you imagine like breathing in all the red and taking in all the stress and all the anxiety. And then when you breathe out a calm colour, so something like blue, and you just get rid of it all. It's like you're taking it all in this one deep breath, and then it's all away. You just breathe out and it's all gone. And I know it's physically not gone, because the deep breathing really, really works. But sometimes if you're just deep breathing and not thinking about anything, it doesn't really help. So if you think about taking it all in and letting it all go, it helps. The second one is called grounding, which I'm sure everyone in therapy has heard, but it's one of my favorites. I do it in the way of you like count to 5. So you list 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. That also is really helpful. And my personal favourite is visualization. I'm a person that has a really active imagination, and I can visualise things very easily. I can close my eyes and like see a picture, and I think that's a really cool thing. So for some people this works, like me this works, but for some people it doesn't, so that's why I'm giving you 3 so you can choose. And so visualization really works for me, and what I do is I spend 5 minutes visualizing myself, and I visualize me doing the stressful thing and not being stressed. So I picture myself on the plane, not being scared at all, and everything going smoothly, everything going fine, landing in Copenhagen and having a really good time. Then I picture my anxiety, and I picture myself like literally fighting it. Like once I pictured myself literally kicking this little ball and like kicking it, and it was my anxiety, and I like kicked it away and it was gone. Another thing I like to visualize is me talking to myself. So like when I was in my GCSEs, I would close my eyes and visualize that the hall I was sat in was completely empty apart from me sat in my seat, and there was another version of me sat in front of me going, you can do this, you know you can do this, it's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine. So maybe picture that the train or the plane you're sat on is completely empty and it's just you, and you're telling yourself, I can do this, everything's fine, I can do it, I know I can do it, I've done it before, I can do this. And if you don't believe yourself, then do what I do and picture somebody that you love or that you idolize telling you can do it. I usually either use Patty Walters or my boyfriend telling me that I can do it. So for example, when I was on the plane, I closed my eyes and I imagined that the plane was completely empty and that my boyfriend was sat next to me and that he was holding my hand and he was looking at me and he was going, you can do this, I know you can do this, you're gonna be with me in like an hour. And for me, that really works. And you can do that as often as you want. You can literally fall asleep and dream about it. So those are 3 techniques that I use that I really like, and I would love to know if any of them work for you. And finally is location, how to stay not anxious while you're on holiday or while you're visiting somebody, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you know? The first thing is try not to think about the fact that you have to go back, because if you get there and you're like, oh my god, I have to do that all over again, you're just going to completely ruin the entire thing and you're just going to be thinking about the travelling again. So don't think about it until it comes to it. Keep in contact with people. Either if you're on holiday on your own, like me, I am on my own, kind of, yeah. Keep in contact with people at home. Keep in contact with your best friends. It just makes it feel more like things are normal almost, and it makes you feel a little bit less stressed. Another thing is to hold comforts from home. So like I said, I bought my journal. Just hold on to it, or like, you know, just hold on to your blanket or hold on to your comfort thing. It usually helps you calm down a little bit. Just try all the breathing things, and if you're having a panic attack, just try and do all the things that I mentioned while you're traveling, because they work anywhere. Good, okay. I hope that video was a little bit helpful for you. Sorry about the sudden angle change, my battery died, so I had to. And yeah, I really hope that helped. If it did, please let me know. And I am now suddenly a little bit panicked that I have to get back on a plane. However, I am getting on it with my mum and my grandma, so I will be okay. I will see you guys next Sunday, I guess. Bye! That was too cheery. I'm never that excited when I say bye. Bye!